Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse? Or some kind of punishment? I often think about the god who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.
Hello, and welcome to an in-depth analysis of Nier Automata. This video has been in the making for me personally for about probably a month now, and this is going to be split up into three videos. This first video will cover most of Route A and B, or mostly A, sorry. Also, with including Route A, I would also like to address something that will come later, which is I will not be addressing the Emil storyline or the really delving deep into the Devila and Popola. I personally have not finished Nier Replicant yet, so I don't think I can really sit here and do those storylines justice. Maybe one day when I do finish that, I'll come back to the series and do a whole nother retrospective, review, whatever. But as of right now, I don't want to. I don't think it's right. Uh, that's mostly it. Um, like I said, this video is the first out of probably three. I want to say three. Uh, if I make it right, it could be two, but it's most likely going to be three videos. And yeah, that's mostly it. Uh, Let me introduce myself. My name is Dividing Sum. Uh, this channel is going to do a lot of stuff like in-depth reviews, you know, videos like this, and then also probably some streaming and maybe just some slight gaming content. I'm a big fan of fighting games. I'm a big fan of some chill games. I might play a few JRPGs on here, do a few actual Let's Plays. So, yeah, with that out of the way, welcome, and I hope that you enjoy and find this entertaining. Yeah. So to start this off, to kick this off, let me quickly address one more thing. I forgot to address it in the intro. Uh, I'm playing on New Game Plus, which does mean that we are going to be, whenever we're in fights, they're going to go by pretty quickly. I also would like to say that I'm not going to really talk about combat completely in depth. Combat is a huge deal to me. It's one of the highest things for me on rating a game. This game has great combat. This game has a great story. If I were to sit here and kind of talk through both very, very in depth, like, cover everything possible, if I covered everything, I'd be here forever. This video would be 5 hours long. Exaggeration. But you know what I mean. This video would take even longer than it already has. And this is a three-parter. So keep that in mind. Um, yeah, but I am going to talk about boss fights because I still remember most of them pretty vividly, and a lot of them are really well made. So when I get to a boss, I feel like I should address, whether that be because of story implications or because of, you know, other things. Story most bosses I'm going to cover, whether that be because of the story behind the boss or due to the gameplay of it, I am going to cover. I just like to address that.
That was dangerous, man.
And here we meet the absolute GOAT. we just met the absolute GOAT, one of my favorite characters in this game, and one of my favorite characters in all of fiction, 9S. I love every character in this game, and 9S is such an incredible character. His writing, everything, is so brilliant. But I am gonna, I want to make this clear because it is the first video. I'm not gonna really talk about him much. A lot of, uh, a lot of 9S's development comes a lot later, and I don't want to address it until we reach those points. Um, until we reach Route B or Ending B, whatever you want to call it. That's when I'm going to really address 9S. But as of right now, I'm really only going to address 2B and what concerns 2B and Ending A. Here we have the intro cutscene for our first, what I'm going to call true boss. Our first biggest boss, one of the bigger bosses in this game, and a boss that's going to return later. Um, this boss is a brilliant introduction. It's incredible. It teaches you almost everything. This boss has an incredible flight unit section when you're playing 9S. It has a great fight. You know, I can't really show it off due to the run I'm doing, but it has a great fight when you're just playing 2B. And it's so good. It's really good. This whole intro part is so incredible. I immediately fell in love with this game when I played it, and I just kind of ultimately this is one of the main reasons why I'm sitting down and making this video, which is just all these moments, all these such incredible moments that I think are going to stick with me forever. Uh, this game is so vivid and incredible in the way that it portrays everything, and I want to say that that's incredible. That's so good. This boss also acts as a really quick way to introduce some character themes and some character traits that are going to play a huge role later into the game, specifically ending C. Uh, 9S is shown here to be already really attached to B, so much so that in a little bit we're going to see him. He's going to sacrifice himself basically, and sacrifice himself to save 2B here, uh, which is a really great way of really quickly introducing a theme, really quickly introducing a character arc and a character trait. Uh, yeah, just saw it. And as you can see, it's like it's so good because it also leads into the themes of, are these androids really making their own choices, or are they just living for their purpose they were made for, which was fighting? Um, that question will be constantly asked and answered throughout this story. Uh, that's the great thing about it.
Send a support request to command.
In this short section here, I would also like to address the camera angles and the overall cinematography of this game. Uh, this game is really good. It changes a lot from almost 2D side scroller to top down to full on 3D to bullet hell so seamlessly. This game also just looks beautiful. I mean, this game came out 2016, I believe, and that was kind of when, I mean, that's when graphics peaked. So
I have to repair him. Hod, get me staunching gel and logic virus vaccines. Then access the.
here we are, fighting through these bots to help 9S, man.
Just do what I say.
And immediately you're the way this game is written is immediately shown off from the start. Um, I love this game. I think this game. I think the way that this game writes is really good, and the way that it immediately it introduces its theme of are these humans? What is humanity? What makes us human? What makes humans human? And what separates us from everything else? And can other things become that? Can these other things, like the androids and the machines, can they go against what they were made for? As we see here, 2B is doing something that if she followed strictly code, she wouldn't. She's trying to save a comrade, which is innately a human emotion. And she does this throughout the game, and it makes you truly question all, all of it. It's a really great way to introduce the themes, and I think when you come back to the game and you look at it like this, you'll notice it a lot more for everything. The entire game is based around this theme that I just brought up. The whole point of this game is to kind of be a deconstruction of humanity and what it is. Um, I think this is one of the few pieces of media that has handled it really respectfully and well, because most media will just go, "Hey, I mean, they have emotions. I mean, I guess they're human." But this game goes deeper with not just that, but it truly gives them human dilemmas, such as the idea of purpose. What is the purpose of these androids, of the machines? What do they live for? And ultimately, one of the main themes, how do you find purpose in a world where your purpose is given to you, and when you've fulfilled it, there is none? Another another theme that this game brings up a lot, and another kind of somewhat philosophical, more so just outlook on life that this game does address, that I think some people may be confused to think that this is what the game is portraying and what it's kind of saying, is Nier Automata is a very hopeful world that is often misconstrued as a world that's very cynical. It's real, but it's also hope. There's a lot of dreams and aspirations in all these characters. They all want to do something else, but they're kind of stuck doing what they have to do. We see this in multiple characters. We see this here. I'm sure 2B and 9S in this moment would much rather live. But in this moment, they realize they gotta lock in and they gotta blow up and die.
Gunpowder barrel. Okay.
That's what they do. They pull out the black boxes and they bring them together, and they 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 die, and that's a very serious moment, and it's a brilliant way to open the game because realistically, this is only an hour in, maybe if that. You can get through this in 30 minutes, and they already hit you with a moment like this, and this moment right here is ultimately the foundation for the entire game, because it is the foundation of the 2B and 9S relationship and the beginning of their partnership. Uh, it's brilliant. It's great. After that incredible open, we get the loading screen, and then we load in to a beautiful scene aboard HQ, and man, This game just looks incredible. The style, everything about it, man. The style of this game is so great. That's all I want to say there. After that, after our short time on HQ, we're tasked with heading back to the ruins of the nearby city we were near during the last boss fight. Man, that game is beautiful. But we go through the ruins, we make it to the resistance camp. When we make it to the resistance camp, we do some side quests, we do some little stuff, just some quick busy work. And then eventually we get told to head to the desert to take out some machines. And that's what we do. We go out to the desert, we take out some machines. But I'd like to address something here. You'll notice on the screen here, there's the moment of the broadcasting from mankind on the moon base. I'd like to draw attention to these right now before the reveal happens because I'm going to talk about them more then, and I feel like it's better to talk about them then instead of now. But just know that those broadcasts are going to be in your ear for basically the first 20 hours until you basically reach Route B. Like I said, when we arrive in the desert, we're tasked with taking out these varying different machines. Uh, you will notice that if you have played Near Replicant, these machines will have the mask from a section in that game emulating the humans, uh, but that's not really important. We also see these machines speak and say things that machines shouldn't be able to say. They're talking about fear and emotions. These are things that, from both the player's point of view and the main character's point of view, shouldn't be possible. And since we believe this, it kind of brings to the forefront another one of the questions. And one of the main disputes in this game's main story is the whole argument of, and kind of learning the whole fact of, man, the machines are kind of just like the androids, and the androids are just like the machines. They both have similar things. They both do similar things, and they both have one thing that they both should not have: emotions. Emotions were not something that either one of these creations were meant to have. The aliens didn't make the machines for the purpose of having emotions, and the androids were not created with any of that, um, on purpose at least. But with that being said, look at what we see here. We see machines trying, saying child, child, like they really understand what it's like to be a family. Or they're desperately trying to understand what it means to be a family. And 2B and 9S just come in and slaughter them for no solid reason at all, besides the fact that they simply just live for it. This is a very interesting look into the way these characters are handled, and the way that these characters almost become something that are just their code. 2B and 9S will eventually evolve to become something other than their original purpose of just destroying machines. It's one of the most interesting things about the story arc in this game is the evolution of both machines and androids into this world that they were meant to do one thing. Now they're trying to find a way to do something else. It's very interesting. It's very brilliant. It's something that's hard to put into words. It's something that's hard to show. And I've struggled to do it, but I'm hoping that I'm doing a good job of putting words to this.
This is a machine.
And here we have one of the first main antagonists. I want to say this is Eve or Adam. I forget which one came first. It's very interesting boss, obviously mimicking the Adam and Eve being the first humans within the Bible. Very, it's very brilliant to put this as your kind of first antagonist. But as you see, first time we see him, you're probably thinking, "Oh, this guy ain't too bad. We piece him up." 9S and 2B just pieced this bro up. But wait, there's more. Because what happens next is truly great. As we see here, another machine comes out of him and is like, all right, nah, I'm gonna eat it. Ah. After one of their little tantrums, 9S and 2B escape. As they escape, it kind of starts to sink in the whole idea of maybe we're not the strongest. I think this is the first case that the game actually shows you that 2B and 9S are not always going to win or not always going to destroy their uh, objectives. Uh, as that happens, after that, we get a call from command which tells us you gotta go to the amusement park and do some stuff, you know? You gotta go take care of this machine. There's a bunch of android lives there. It looks like a bunch of androids are there, but we don't know, so you gotta investigate. Uh, and this section is going to be the amusement park section. But sadly to say, looks like I'm running out of time on this. I want to end the video here. I know this is a weird place to stop it. Really weird place. I wanted this video to be longer, but due to the way that I'm editing with Share Factory and stuff, I just can't. I can't really make it as long as I want to. I can't do as many clips as I want to. I'm gonna probably adjust this someday. I'll work on getting better at editing. I want to thank everybody who managed to sit through this. I know it's not perfect. I'm trying my best at it. I'm new to this. This took me a few months to do. I just really wanted to put my words out there for this game. Uh, I know earlier in the video I mentioned that this is going to be a three-parter. Uh, One, it's probably going to be more. Now that I mention it, it might be more. It might be less, but I do want to say, as of right now, this is going to stay as the only video here. Uh, I know it's weird to kind of leave it like this, and I'm not a huge fan of doing this, but in all honesty, I kind of have to. And as of right now, I'm not motivated enough to kind of sit here and do another video on Nier and do it justice. Uh, I don't want to sit here and do a video that I'm not pleased with, and I don't think anybody would else be pleased with. So the next video on this channel, if it's a video, might do some live streams. The next video on this channel will most likely be a video of probably Onimusha. I might do an Onimusha video if you're tapped in like that. I might do maybe some Devil May Cry videos. I might even do a couple videos on Stellar Blade, which I recently got. Um, Other than that, I just want to be clear, don't expect a near video anytime soon. I think one day I am going to come back to this series, and I am going to do it the justice it deserves, but as of today, I can't really do it. I wish I could, but that's it. Sorry, and thank you for watching.